when I was a child, I was a student, I hardly knew about like what I want to be, how I want to be, because we as students did not had maximum exposure to the various professional options available in this world. We only knew about being a doctor, lawyer, teacher, or an engineer. But what about other career options? But sadly, to be very honest, even in 2022, the situation is same. But now, thankfully, we have a startup called What Is My Goal by Nishat. She is the founder of What Is My Goal, and which will help the students to understand the various kind of career options available. Am I right?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Sujata, for having me here.
Thank you, Nishat, for coming.
And just like you put it, this is a problem with a lot of people. It was not just when you were young, but even now. In fact, there's a study on this. There are many studies that tell us that the career aspirations of the youth, they're frozen back in the 2000s. We are still thinking on the same lines of, engineering and doctor. Not to say that these careers are not good, but then if you can't make it to these careers, then what? If you cannot, ace your JEE or NEET, then what?
Right.
So we do not give the children different options that they can fall back on, especially from a very young childhood. If you tell them, or if they develop that aspiration for so and so reason, mostly children develop aspirations by looking at someone, they are already succeeding in a field, or very close, just like stars. The stars that
I have seen that children do get these professional aspirations by seeing their parents.
Absolutely.
Because that is the closest relationship we have as children.
Yes.
And if our parents are successful in some particular career, then we want to be that.
Yes, absolutely. If not the parents, then at least the parents' friends,
Yes.
or what you see on TV. So exposure. So this is the exposure. So the level of exposure is very narrow. It's because either the parents or their friends or TV, not much, not more than that. This is what we want to change. We want to expose them to the entire plethora of careers that are available. In fact, in India itself, there's 250 plus careers that actually are as good as doctor or as good as an engineer. But just because they don't know it, they are not aspiring for it. And if you don't aspire to a career, not knowing something is equal to missed opportunity. You're missing those opportunities.
Right. So, Nishat, tell me one thing. How did this concept came to your mind?
So I myself, I have been a copywriter. I've indulged in a lot of careers myself. I've had a lot of career switches. I started with scientific writing, editing. I moved into subject matter expertise in the edtech field, and then I came into copywriting again. So it's just that I have had a lot of career switches, and I never knew that a person could become a copywriter or he could become a subject matter expert. And a lot of people are not aware, even if it's an education. Teaching is not the only thing that you can do. There are many other things that you can do. Right? And only if you know it, you can grab that opportunity. And for me, I have seen a lot of people who are not happy in their careers, and they just cannot make that switch because they don't know what else would be good for them.
Right.
If only they knew what their strengths and weaknesses are, what natural abilities they have, where can they move to, they could have made those decisions. There are a lot of other people that I see, they are into careers on their own. They have made that choice. They studied something else, they started working with something else, but then they got into something else, and that is only because of their interests and because of their natural abilities. And this is something not every one of us is lucky enough to have in our lives.
Right.
Now, what is my goal? I'd say it is the brainchild of King, our co-founder. It so happened that he and me and there are 2-3 other founders that our thoughts aligned. And when we saw that as COVID came and more people are accepting online education, we thought this is the right time to do something of this sort, because what we see is children are lacking that holistic development. We tell them, okay, academics is good. We are trying to give them as much as possible in the academics. But are we really helping them connect those academic concepts with their daily lives?
Right.
Are we telling them, if you study this, these are the possibilities where you can reach? That is lacking, and we are not giving them that.
Right.
And luckily, it happened so naturally, a very organic formation of our team. 5 different people from different backgrounds came together for one single cause, something that we have seen from our childhood and we are seeing even now, and that's how What's My Goal came up.
Right. Anisha, there is one more problem in India, that it's not just that the child is exposed to only few career options, but also parents push their children towards these few career options only, as if because they know that these are the only respectable career
Yes.
options, and only my child will make something out of himself or herself if they choose these few professions.
Yes.
But even though they're aware that there are many other kind of, now there is a lot of awareness, but still the parents are pushing their children toward these few career options. So how has your startup been able to, broaden the mindset or impact the mindset of the parents?
Yes, you have correctly pointed it out. The first challenge for What Is My Goal would be to change that mindset of the parents. Because eventually parents are the decision makers. And if a parent tells you, this is what you study and then this is what you become, the child has to follow. Now that is one thing we have to change. Not exactly change, but we want to equip the parents also. We want to make the parents aware. The reason why parents choose a particular set of careers is because they have their genuine and in fact legit concerns. They want their child to succeed.
Right.
And if they know that this particular thing helps the child succeed, they will do whatever they can to get to let that happen, because they give their 100%. But the thing is, parents themselves are lacking knowledge in the opportunities that are available.
Right.
For instance, if a child is good in drawing, sketching, he has artistic talent, a parent might think this is not a high-paying career. If he becomes an artist, it is not a high-paying career. What will he do? But the parent is not aware, but that there are many high-paying careers in this. You can get into graphic design, UI UX design. There are so many careers that parents are not aware. It's because they don't have that exposure to the entire plethora of opportunities. If you are a good writer, what will you do? Where will you write? They don't know that the world runs on content, and there are so many different kinds of careers in content itself. There's content strategy, there's content marketing, there is copywriting, and they're all high-paying careers and highly respectable, in fact. Just that they don't know it. And even if you see singing, most people are scared if the child is singing or dancing. Where will you go? What will you do? But then there again, there are so many things. The child can become a voiceover artist. There's so many other things that they can become.
Right.
So they are just concerned about the future prospects of the child. But even if the child is following his strengths, his interests, his natural abilities, he can still make it big if he chooses the right career. That's what we want to tell them.
Right. So right now, is it your startup, What Is My Goal? Are there any collaborations with schools, or parents can reach out to you individually? How is it working?
Yes. So for us, most importantly, we want to reach to parents, and the parents can reach out to us. They can go on to our website, whatismygoal.com, and they can sign up, they can inquire. Apart from that, we also have collaborations with schools. In fact, we have reached 5 cities by now.
Okay. May I know the cities?
Yes, Goa, Chennai, Hyderabad, Guwahati, and also Warangal.
Okay.
So in these cities, we have reached schools. Some of them are also defense schools, and we are trying to reach a large number of students, and that is why we are collaborating with schools. But at the same time, we would be very happy if parents themselves can come up with us and enroll their children.
Right. So, how do you approach, what is the strategy? Do you have subscription model, or like if I'm a parent and I want to reach out to you, so do I have to subscribe to any program, or how is it?
What you can do is you can book maybe a free session with us, and to understand, to get a taste of what kinds of activities we do, how is the exposure, how do we make your child interact with career professionals. That is one thing. We are based on a subscription model. We have a 1-year program, we have a 2-year program, and parents can take the monthly subscription for this. Apart from that, we also have shorter programs if they want to explore a set of careers in one go. That is also possible.
All right. Another question that comes to my mind when I think about, like, I've seen on your website that there is a 2 years program, there is 1 year program. So during COVID, because the child was at home, lockdown and all, there was a lot of time the
Yes.
students had. But now again, the schools have reopened and physical classes have started again. Do you think to manage their regular education and as well as to attend these programs, don't you think it's a clash and there will be a hardly the child will get some time for themselves?
Yes, that is a growing concern now, especially because now students have school homework, and then again they have classes and online sessions to supplement the schoolwork.
Right.
So they already have a lot on their plate. We do understand, and the reason for having a 2 year long program is because we limit the sessions to 3 live sessions in a month. So that makes one session per week, close to one session, and then there are activities that they do throughout the week whenever they have time. So the reason for the 2 year program is because we do not want to affect their timings and we don't want to overburden them, but at the same time we want to help them explore careers, and this will also help them academically, because in a way this also helps them connect their academics with their schools.
Okay. And mostly is it online or do you have physical classes as well?
No, currently we are totally following an online approach. That way we can reach a large number of students, and it saves a lot of time in commute for the child itself. It saves a lot of time.
And when you say program and activities, what exactly is the curriculum of these programs?
So our curriculum is designed to target one career category a month, and what students are made to do is they interact with different career professionals to understand about a career in depth, not just what they can become, but also the advantages, disadvantages, the pathway to reach that career, and the different options. Again, once you are in it, then what are the different options? Apart from that, they also go through content that we share with them, and we share activities related to that career, so they can get a touch of that, they get a feel of that career, at a young age. And we also give them virtual office tours, so they can understand, oh, so this is where a researcher works, this is where a voiceover artist works, or a fashion designer, this is her workplace. This is one thing. And also we also have psychometric assessments. So this is to understand their strengths and natural abilities, to capture this information from a young age, so that this can be later used at any point of their lives.
So when you say assessment, these activities and programs, how is it different from career counseling? How is What Is My Goal different from a typical career counseling session?
Now that you have mentioned typical career counseling, what happens in typical career counseling is that a student sits with a career counselor, maybe he has one test, he gives one test, and then he's shown these are the streams, 4 streams.
Right.
And then from this stream you have this flow chart of careers, and then again a different flow chart of careers,
Right.
Science stream, humanities stream.
Yeah.
We are moving from that flow chart model, We are giving them something, we are giving them an experience. And imagine a career, he has no idea. After 10th or after 12th, he's sitting and he's being told all these different careers, and you can take this, you can take this stream, this stream, this. Imagine the level of confusion he'll have.
Right.
But what we do is from a young childhood, if we are helping them explore these things, and at the same time we are measuring their interest and aptitude. Unlike career counseling sessions, they have one test. We are doing a progressive testing. A child, he develops constantly and he acquires different skills and strengths and abilities constantly, and it is changing. It is very plastic. It is very elastic. Sorry. So that is not being captured currently in career counseling. That is one thing that we're trying to change.
Right. So on your website, I also saw there are programs for children starting from the age of when they are in the class of 5th standard to 8th standard, and then above as well.
Yes.
So how a child who is in 5th standard will understand all these things, will grab the concept of what that child is being exposed to? that I could not catch up to. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yes. So we start at a very young age. Especially we are starting from 9 years of age, and the reason for starting with that age group is because that is the age when children start forming opinions and goals and aspirations. They start forming. They are able to analyze and process that information. The reason for giving them exposure from that age is because that is not the age to specialize, If you tell him what a doctor does, a 5-year-old will understand what a doctor does because he saw him, right? He saw him, he saw what he does. If not the intricacies of what a surgeon does, or what is the difference between pediatrician or a gynec, maybe he may not know, but he will still understand the idea of what a doctor is. And that is because as a 5-year-old he saw a doctor. So we are not complicating things for the children. In a very simple way, we are exposing them to the different opportunities they can aspire to. In fact, in the US in Montessori schools, career exploration starts as early as even kindergarten.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right. So how has been the response of schools and parents? How has Indian cities taking What Is My Goal?
Surprisingly, initially when we set out, we knew that talking to parents and convincing them would be a challenge. But now what we are getting to see is more and more parents are understanding the need for such a thing. They are more and more open to letting their children explore, and especially because our programs give the children the opportunity to, carry out activities. And when the parents see their children doing these activities that they never saw them doing, they are very happy, they are just thrilled. A parent will always be thrilled to see his child, do different activities in front of people, explore his strengths, his interests basically. And this is not done very commonly. You have one day, you have maybe one sports day, or you may have one cultural day, maybe. And that day the parents are excited. We are giving parents that excitement for a longer time. And parents are really liking this. In fact, one parent told us that her child, when the day of the session, her child does not even go out. He does not want to step out because he does not want to miss the session. He's scared. And one parent, she said, the child has been preparing for the activities for so long. She never saw her child so happy. The children are taking this so seriously, and just seeing that change, I'll tell you, a parent might not know the difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. But when the same parent sees his child telling that difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur, the parent is, he is struck. And this is the happiness that the parents have shown, and parents are in fact accepting us more.
Right now your approach is more towards school-going children. But are there any programs, or would you be coming up with programs for elder kids, like your graduation kids or post-graduation students? Would there be anything for them?
Yes. So currently we have a goal guidance program, and then we'll supplement it with a goal mentorship program. So in the goal mentorship program, what we're going to do is...
so currently you have something for
goal mentoring, yes. So so any student so we are basically targeting students from 5th to 12th grade, but then the goal mentoring will also be helpful for students who are beyond that, graduation, and even people who are already into careers. So if you're already into a career, you can still explore the different possibilities, the different switches that you can make. And if you start young with us, then you have a lot of data. You have your entire history to help you figure out these things at a later age, even in graduation, even later when you want to switch careers.
Right. And when you're saying people who, say for example, I'm doing job somewhere in some software company, and I want to explore more options, or I want to see how can I progress in my professional life. Would What Is My Goal be any way of any assistance to a person like me?
It will definitely be of assistance. Currently that is not our major aim, although because currently we just want to work on the coming generation, the next generation. That is what we are looking for. and we want to be with them for a lifetime, right? We want to help them for a lifetime. But currently, if you think, we are not really thinking on those lines as such,
Right.
but you never know, we might.
Right. So, what is your plan of raising funds? What is the future that we see of What Is My Goal?
So we are currently looking to raise funds. We are bootstrapping as of now, but we are trying to raise funds, and we are reaching out to investors and VCs for the same. The future that we are looking at is, just like students go to schools, we want them to go through What Is My Goal, because our aim is to help students, equip them to become better citizens, equip them with the right information to make informed career decisions, and get into happier careers, that last for a lifetime.
Right.
We want to impact the entire generations to come. That is the future. You can reach What Is My Goal on our website, WhatIsMyGoal.com. You can also send us an email at team@whatismygoal.com. You can reach me personally at humaira@whatismygoal.com. Apart from that, you can visit our Facebook page.
Thank you, Humaira, so much for coming to our studio and talking about the startup What Is My Goal. And now you know that there are not only 5 career options that we have been hearing about since our childhood or maybe our parents' childhood. There is a plethora of professional careers and options that is available in this world, and our children could make a good life out of it, right?
Right, absolutely.
So that is Nishat from What Is My Goal. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to HyBiz TV.